Okay, this video today is going to show you how to create an assembly in Onshape. Now we've designed all the parts in Onshape and we've designed them in separate files. So when you scroll down, you can have lots of different parts. A step up from that, when we go into a bit more detail, is we would design everything in the same folder. Now, what you have to do first, I'm not sure why we have to do this, but it appears this is the way to do it, is when you have a part, like for example here, light side 1, what you have to do is you have to right click and you have to go to copy workspace, okay? What that will do, that will basically just create a duplicate of that file in your menu. So it'll open it up. When it opens it up, you don't need to do anything with it. Just go back to Onshape. And then what you'll see is you have a copy of it. So it's the copy we're going to be working with. Now, what we're going to create today is we are going to create our assembly. So we're going to put together our light so that it looks like this. So it's actual 3D model. And this is what we call an assembly. So what you do first is you create all your parts by the separate drawings, and then you bring them in to what we call an assembly, where you assemble it and put it together. So to create an assembly, what you have to do is you have to go into this little plus button down here, and we want to go to create assembly. What that will do is along the bottom here, you'll see you'll have a new tab appeared and it says assembly. And all we've got here is a little dot in the middle. And it's a very different view to the part studio and the drawing studio that you've been used to before. So it's a different sort of layout. So the first thing we have to do is we have to insert one of the parts. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by inserting the one of the red ones. Okay, I've got red and blue here, so one of the red ones. And we take note that the little slots need to be towards the bottom of the page, okay, facing down. So to insert that, I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to go to this one here, okay, so current document, Part Studio, that one, okay, and that's okay. Now, I've noticed that it's brought it in, but it's brought it in the wrong way around. So what I can do quite simply is I just click it, and then I grab this little handle here, okay, and I spin it around 180 degrees. So I type in there 180, and that will spin it 180 degrees. Okay, and then I've got it in the right place. Then what I need to do is I need to fix this, because at the moment I can move it around. It gives free movement. And what I need to do, I need to fix it. So to do that, I can just right click, and along here I'm looking for fix. So that means that it fixes it into the space. So that means now I can't move it, it's fixed. It's locked in place, okay? It's locked. So that's set up, okay? Now what I need to do is I need to bring in the other parts. So let's have a quick reference back. So now the blue part I need to bring in. So in this project, we drew that part in a different file. So it won't be in your current documents, it'll be in your other documents. And this is why we had to make a copy of it. So you go to other documents, you go to My Onshape, and you want to look for the one you haven't. So this one, light side to copy, because remember they are both different. So I click that, and then I click the Part Studio, and it appears in this window like so. So it's brought it in. So you have to click the copy in. Then we click OK. Now it's a case of joining these two together. And the way assemblies work is we have different options to join things together. So we can do what we call fasten mate. That's where it fastens two parts together. You can put ones inside so they do cylinder mates. But today we're just going to focus on this one, fasten mate. So I'm looking for two flat surfaces what I can join together. So I'm going to first zoom into this one, and I'm going to look at this surface here, because this surface, when it slots in, will touch this surface, and it would do in real life as well. Okay, that's the idea. So that would be a good place to put the fasten mate, so that both the surfaces are fastened at that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in again, and when you zoom in, you need to get a good view of it. If you click the fasten mate, then you select this face. Now what you want to see is that little circle, okay, and you want to have the blue line pointing up, okay, so it's pointing up, and in the center of that circle, not over here, okay, in the center, like that. So you just click that. That means that face is active, and then what you're going to do is just say, okay, I want to fasten that face to this face, and again you're just going to spin it around, and you're going to do the same thing on this one. Okay, let's do the same thing, and we're going to get this into the right view. Okay, I'm going to just spin it so I can see it, and I can see there that it will be correct. It's at a slight angle, so it looks like that blue line's a little bit wonky. Let's try and flatten it out a bit. Okay, so you can see the blue line's pointing up, and it's in the center. That means that those 2 points will touch when I click it, and I can see it's done that. Now, it has fastened it, but it doesn't look right. Okay, that's because I need to rotate it. So this one rotates it. So I can rotate it round, you can see around, and it's fastened to that point, like so. The other button, it flips it. So if I click that, it changes the top and the bottom. But for this, we need to have the 2 slots towards the bottom here. Okay, like so. So that is fastened together as it would be in real life. And if it is drawn correctly, what you'll notice is that it'll fit and it looks right as well. And this is why when we design things in CAD, we can guarantee, if they're drawn correctly, that they'll work when we laser cut them or 3D print them. Because if it works on the computer, it'll pretty much work in the real world. So next thing we're going to do now is we're just going to go to the isometric view, and we're going to repeat the process for the other 2 sides. So I'm going to bring the blue side again. So I just close that. I'm going to go into Insert, Other Documents, My Onshape, and I want to go for the one I had before, which was the light to copy. Okay, click the part, bring it over here, like so. And what I can do at this point is I can think, well, that's facing the wrong way. So what I like to do is I like to spin them around to make sure they're in the right. You don't have to, but it's just a habit of mine. Let's spin it to like 90 degrees. Then I know that it's in the right plane to attach it. So again, we're thinking, right, I need to this time zoom into this one. I want to get that face and attach it to the other place. So again, it's a bit of a repeat process. Click that one, fasten mate. You're gonna select it there. So the blue line's pointing up, and it's that face is selected. So that's that one, that's ready, that's active. Okay, then I'm gonna spin round, so right click on the mouse, orbiting round, and I'm gonna aim for this little area here. Okay, and then again, let's get it. Can be sometimes a bit of a fiddle to get things right. Just have to move the views until you find that what works. It's good practice as well. Okay, click that one, and you can see if we go to isometric view, does that look right? Let's have a double check. So we've got the 2 slots towards the bottom there and there, which is correct. That looks fine. I'm happy with that one. Okay, so that means that's been fastened into there. And all that is left to do now is the red bit. So again, we're just going to go to, let's close that, insert part. This is the studio, the bit we're already working in, so I can use that one. And remember from before, the problem with this one was it was the wrong way round. So I'm going to just OK that, click this. Again, I'm going to get this handle here and just spin it around 180 degrees. Press enter. OK, and then I'm happy with that. And now it's just a case of getting one of these little faces in here. So let's go for this one. Okay, again with the fasten mate, select that, activate that face. Okay, spin it round, and we're looking to place it onto this face. And again, as it would be in the real world, you'd slot these together and these two faces would meet. So click that, and let's see. Okay, yeah, so it's fine. Nothing needs to be flipped, nothing needs to be rotated. That all slots together perfectly. So now we've done that, we now need to bring in the other part. So a quick reference. So we need to bring in the filters that we've done. So the filters, again, you can see that they fit in nicely. So let's just go back to our assembly and let's look at the filters. So here we're going to go to Insert, and I want to go to Other Documents and My Onshape. And I'm going to start with a large filter first. So this is like the wider one. And slip the part, bring it in. You can bring it in twice, so you'd have to repeat the process. You could bring all your parts in if you wanted to and then just attach them all afterwards. That's a way you could do it. You don't have to go backwards and forwards. So this time, again, we'll think, right, I need an attachment point to locate this onto here. What you could do is you could click this face and click that face, but both faces would be attached, but you need it in the center really of this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the edge as a reference point. So always think about, I need a reference point. If it has to be in the center, think about the center of this, and the center of that would be a good reference point. So again, click the fasten mate, and this time I'm going to go for the edge. So let's make sure we're flat. We're flat there, and I'm in the center, and it's on the edge. Just like that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the same over here. Okay, let's make sure that's flat, and there. Okay, and you can see what's happened there. The edge and the edge have been lined up, both in the center, which means that when I look from the top, I can see that it is in the center, and there's a slight gap, but that doesn't matter. That's just part of the drawing. So that's right in the center, which is good. Then it's just going to be a case of repeating that process for the other side. So again, we're going to just go to Fasten Mate. We're going to click the middle of that part. Okay, and then we're going to click the middle of, just hover over, middle of that part. Make sure it's on this edge, not this edge. If it's on this edge, it's going to put it in the wrong place. It has to be on the inside edge. And then OK. So there we go. That's the two edges done. Now we just need to do the other smaller filters so they're built on the inside, on these two faces on the inside. And again, that's pretty straightforward to do. We're just going to go to Insert, and we're going to go to Other Documents. We're going to look for that copy. So I copied them all before. Maybe it's wise for you to do it at the start. So small light filter copy. Click the part, bring that in. I'm going to bring another one in, so I'm not repeating myself. There we go. It's two like that. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin these round 90 degrees, get them in the right view. Just a little bit of management before we move them. Spin that one around as well, 90 degrees. they're both in the right plane now. Now it's a case of, as we did before, just getting the fasten mate, finding the center line on this edge. Okay, sometimes you just have to move around just to get it. There we go. Okay, and then the same as on here. And there we go, that's fastened that to there, which is good. And then the last one to make up the light is the other edge. So let's repeat that process. So we need to have the outside edge, which is this one here. Fasten mate. So outside edge here to the inside edge on here. Like so. Okay, and then we click OK. And what we can see now is if we go to Isometric, we can see that we have our light constructed. And we're just going to do a quick visual check. So check the top. Everything's nice and in line. And you can see now why we had to do them at different sizes, because we have to compensate for the width of this material here. And that's why they fit in nice. And then everything else looks really good. And everything looks like it's ready to be rendered for the next step. So that is the video on how to assemble your light once you've created all the parts.